Welcome back to Horror Movies.
Today, I will be showing you the first 2 episodes from the South Korean horror series from 2022 titled All of Us Are Dead. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Lee Jin-soo goes to Hyosun High School and is the son of the science teacher Mr. Lee. He is frequently troubled by a group of bullies at his school. One day, they bring him to the rooftop of an abandoned building and beat him up. For the first time in his life, Jin-soo retaliates against them and tries to fight for himself. However, the 4 of them overpower him with little to no effort. After being insulted to filth, he runs to a bully named Guinam and is pushed off the building. Jin-soo hits a sign by the side of the road and falls to the concrete but still survives. His father Lee rushes to the hospital to see him and strangely enough, he has already gained consciousness. Jin-soo apologizes to his father for trying to kill his bullies. Even while fighting death, he believes that it was wrong of him to hit them. Lee tries to console him but Jin-soo begins to get more aggressive. Suddenly, his demeanor changes and he gets up wanting to kill everyone who has hurt him till now. When Lee attempts to calm him down, he tries to bite him. Soon, his eyes turn red and he transforms into a zombie. Lee seems to know what is happening and understands that Jin-soo cannot be brought back to his older self. Hence, he reluctantly hits his son with a Bible and kills him. After that, he hides Jin-soo's body in a suitcase and brings it to his car. Suddenly, a hand emerges from it. As Lee tries to inspect the suitcase, it moves, suggesting that Jin-soo is still alive. In Hyosun High School, a girl named Hyunju falls asleep in the science lab. Her friends go out for lunch, leaving her alone. When Hyunju finally wakes up, she hears a noise from the supply room. She checks and finds a tiny rat inside a box, probably stored for an experiment. Thinking that the rat is adorable, she sticks her fingers inside the box but the animal bites her in the process. Just then, Lee arrives there after taking care of his son. He sees that Hyunju was bitten and locks her inside the supply room to contain the virus that she might have been infected with. Somewhere else, a student named Chung-san invites his friends, Anjo, Isak, and Kyung-soo to his parents' chicken restaurant. Chung-san has a crush on Anjo but she is oblivious to it. The friends enjoy a meal cooked by Chung-san's mother while talking about Lee's weird behavior. The following day at school, we are introduced to a guy from Chung-san's class named Soo-hyuk. He used to be friends with the bullies some time ago but doesn't like them anymore. Soo-hyuk notices the bully Gui-nam bringing 2 students into an abandoned building beside the school. Gui-nam and his group threaten the poor couple to not tell anyone that they used to bully Jin-soo. They even film Yoon-ji naked, threatening to post the video to the internet. Soo-hyuk stops the bullies and helps Yoon-ji and her friend. Anjo has a crush on Soo-hyuk and plans to ask him out during lunch. A teacher named Miss Park is worried about Hyunju's disappearance. Because Hyunju was last seen in the science lab, she asks Lee about her but he lies that never saw her. After Miss Park leaves, we see that he has held Hyunju hostage in the supply room. He knows that she is going to turn into a zombie and infect the others as well. Hence, he injects her with a drug to kill her. Somewhere else, Miss Park is in a class teaching the students. The school's best student, Namra, answers all the questions efficiently and impresses her. Namra is cold-hearted and likes to stay alone, a quality that Soo-hyuk finds intriguing. Suddenly, Hyunju enters the class and falls to the ground. She tells Miss Park about Lee and falls unconscious. Miss Park and the students quickly take her to the infirmary where the school nurse tries to sedate her. Hyunju grows aggressive and bites the nurse's arm. Later, she is sent away in an ambulance. When Anjo and Soo-hyuk are returning to the class, she confesses her love to him by giving him her name tag. He is confused because he always thought Anjo and Chung-san were dating. Later, Miss Park confronts Lee about abducting Hyunju. On finding out that she was let free, Lee panics knowing that Hyunju will bite everyone on her way and spread the virus. He tries to go to the hospital to contain her but is forcefully taken to the principal's office instead. The principal is furious that Miss Park called the police before informing him. A while later, a police officer comes to the school and arrests Lee. At the same time, the school nurse feels the effect of the bite and starts turning into a zombie. After the lunch break, Soo-hyuk approaches the school topper, Namra, and starts a conversation with her. It is evident that he likes her but she is too focused on her studies to see it. Then, 2 students see the nurse acting strange and film a video of her. Suddenly, she attacks them and bites off a chunk of flesh from a student's cheek. Then, she runs around rampant, biting everyone on her way. Soon, the virus spreads rapidly and many students turn into zombies. Chaos ensues as the zombies run around the school, attacking everyone. On the rooftop, the girl who was bullied earlier, Yoon-ji, is about to commit suicide. She is stopped by her friend who tries to convince her otherwise. However, she doesn't want to live to see her nudes being uploaded to the internet. Just as she is about to jump, someone from the floor below falls off the window. This is followed by several more students being pushed by zombies. Soo-hyuk and Namra are attacked as well. They run looking for a safe place to hide. The only place that is yet to be attacked is the cafeteria. Oblivious to what is happening outside, An-jo tells Chung-san that she likes Soo-hyuk. Chung-san is heartbroken, but he doesn't tell her about his feelings. Suddenly, a crowd of zombies and students running from them pile up at the entrance. As everyone else runs away, An-jo freezes in shock. One of the zombies pins her down, trying to bite her. Somewhere else, the principal fails to understand the severity of the situation and refuses to call the police. Instead, he orders the teachers to get all the students to their respective classrooms. Miss Park retaliates and runs to the announcement room so she can alert everyone in the school. In the cafeteria, Chung-san saves An-jo from the attack. However, they are surrounded by flesh-eating creatures by then. The only entrance to the cafeteria is flooded by the zombies, so Chung-san gets on top of a table to get out through a window. He helps An-jo before jumping out himself. The bully Gui-nam is also chased by the zombies in the cafeteria. He fights them and manages to hide under a table at last. Meanwhile, An-jo and Chung-san are again chased by the creatures. A vehicle runs into the school building, killing many in the process. The two get on top of the vehicle and enter the school, only to find out that the zombies are everywhere. An-jo uses a fire extinguisher to chase them away before they run to their classroom. Some of the surviving friends are also inside. They calm down and think of what they can do to escape. Meanwhile, Soo-hyuk and Namra find a ladder outside the school and climb it to get to the upper floor. After dodging several zombies, they manage to get to the classroom without being bitten. In the police station, Lee is being interrogated. A flashback shows us that he was the one who created the virus that is turning everyone into zombies. He had enough of his son being bullied in school and wanted to make him brave. Hence, he created a virus and injected it into Jin-soo. But his plan backfired when Jin-soo bit his own mother, and the virus started to spread. The policeman asks Lee if he killed his son, but he doesn't say anything. Hyunju is rushed to the hospital when suddenly, she attacks the doctors who are helping her. As a chain reaction, the virus spreads in the hospital as well. Somewhere else, the school's archery team returns after losing the competition. The coach insults their captain Hari, who performed the worst. As the bus enters the school, they witness the absolute chaos that it has become. Back in the classroom, the survivors find a phone and call the police. At first, the operator thinks that the students are playing a prank, but then, they start to get several calls complaining of a zombie attack. An-jo also calls the fire department. Her father Soju works there, so she hopes he will come immediately to help them. Suddenly, a teacher named Mr. Kang runs inside the room and asks the students to barricade the doors. They notice a bite mark on the teacher's arm and ask him to go away, but he insists he wasn't bitten. He ultimately turns into a zombie and bites one of the girls. The guys pin him to the wall as the girl also turns into one of them. The students lock them inside the room and run outside to save their lives. They are stopped by a crowd of zombies who do not let them go downstairs. Hence, they have to climb to the upper floor while fighting them. Eventually, they are cornered from both sides and only have one way to escape. An-jo breaks the lock to the science lab using a water hose and they finally enter the room safely. However, the windows are broken, so they barricade them. A while later, they realize that Soo-hyuk is not in the room and assume that he was bitten on his way. In the cafeteria, Bui-nam is almost attacked, but he saves himself by pushing a girl to the zombies. Still, he knows that it is only a matter of time until he is found. In the washroom, a couple locks themselves inside a stall. In the stall beside them, a girl named Mi-jin is smoking to relieve stress. She realizes that the girl in the other stall has been bitten and locks her in. When she turns into a zombie, they stab a broom into her throat, but she doesn't die. Fortunately, Hari from the archery club saves them by killing the zombie with an arrow. In the meantime, Miss Park reaches the announcement room and asks all the students to stay hidden through the speakers. Back in the classroom, An-jo's best friend Isaac holds her hand, when An-jo notices that Isaac's hands are abnormally cold. It turns out that she was also bitten when they were fighting the zombies earlier. Her nose starts bleeding and her eyes turn red. All of a sudden, she attacks An-jo and has to be pushed outside the window. An-jo holds her best friend's hand, but Chung-san hits her with a chair and makes her fall. Then, we see that Soo-hyuk is still alive and is hiding in the art classroom. The group thinks of a way to go to a safer room and plans to climb down through the window using a long fire hose. They retrieve the hose from outside the room and make knots in it. Then, they drop it down the window. Chung San's close friend Kyung Soo goes down the rope first and ends up directly in front of the announcement room. Miss Park sees him and lets him inside. Following that, all the students climb down one after another. At last, only Chung San is left in the room. Before he can follow the others, the zombies barge in through the loosely closed door and attack him. We see that he is pushed down the window in the last scene. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.